The cabin sits on an island along the old fur trade route, once paddled by the Voyageurs. Just across the water stands Fort St. Charles, where beaver pelts once fueled empires. The beaver was the fur that built the trade, but the red fox had its own quiet place in that story. Its pelt prized for warmth and beauty, glowing like fire in the winter light. But long before furs became commodities, foxes lived beside us in a much older relationship. They are our distant kin, members of the canid family, part wild, part familiar. Around the cabin, they've been our neighbors for as long as I can remember. When I was a child, I'd see them bounding through the snow, their red coats bright against the dark spruce. A few years ago, a young pair began visiting us regularly, a male and a female with an injured foot. I set out a bowl of tuna for them, which they enjoyed, before vanishing back into the forest. This autumn, a large male came bounding up the trail as I walked. He stopped, sat down a few yards away, and looked at me as though expecting conversation or perhaps a snack. I had nothing to offer but admiration, and after a quiet moment, he continued on his way. The foxes have a playful side too. For a while, our shoes started disappearing from the porch at night. We'd find one in the woods the next morning, or never find it at all. It didn't take long to realize who was responsible. I still wonder what use a fox has for a boot, but maybe they just like to remind us that not everything in the forest can be explained. The history of this region is built on fur, but our connection to animals, like the fox, has changed. What was once a trade and necessity has become appreciation and respect. The fox, clever and adaptable, still thrives here at the edge between wild and human worlds. Sometimes in winter, I see their tracks winding through the snow near the cabin. I think of the centuries of stories behind that quiet presence. The trapper, the voyager, and now just me, standing in the same cold wind, grateful for the company of this ancient and graceful neighbor.